Hola! I did mention this story on a Facebook Live and a lot of you were asking to hear about it. And it's kind of embarrassing, I guess. It says more about me than it does about them, but you guys definitely wanted to hear it, so I figured I'd do the video. It was like a few months ago, maybe like 3 or 2 months ago. I was on Tinder on like a Friday night, I think. On the Friday night, I matched with this guy, and I can use his fake name because he was using a fake name. So on Tinder it said his name was Xavier, and I matched with him. He seemed really cool, seemed really nice. And I was like, yeah, come over, I'm not doing anything tonight, just come over, whatever. And he was like, yeah, do you smoke? And I used to smoke cigarettes, and there was a photo of me smoking. So I figured he meant weed. And I said, no, not really, but if you're going to, that's fine. I am not concerned. So he came over that night, and he bought a backpack, and I figured there was just a bong in it. And we were sitting on the couch, we were talking. He told me that he was studying architecture, I think. Yeah, I think he told me he was studying architecture not too far from where I live. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. We just were talking, and he was like, do you mind if I smoke? And I was like, no, go ahead. So he goes over to his bag and pulls out a crack pipe. And I was like, ease up, buddy. That's not what I thought you meant. I'm really sorry. I would prefer if you didn't do that here. I definitely don't do that. And he was like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. All of that. And I kind of tried to, because he wasn't high, that I knew. I don't think he was high. So I just kind of tried to play it cool and be like, yeah, no, it's fine. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. But I just still was really uncomfortable about it. And I was like, I'm really sorry. We went into the bedroom and tried to make things happen, but I was really uncomfortable. And I was like, I'm really sorry. You're going to have to leave. I'm just not down with this. Have a nice life. So he left. He texted me. He was like, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. And I was like, no, it's fine. That's all right. That's all right. And he left some of his things here. Luckily, not his crack pipe. But he left some things here. And then on Sunday morning, or Saturday night, Sunday morning, I matched with this other guy. And I'll call him David. So I matched with David, and he was like, what are you doing today? And I was like, oh, I'm just cleaning, but then I'm not really doing anything. You can come over if you want. We had talked and stuff. And then he was like, yeah, okay, I'll text you. And so he texted me, and then in Snapchat, it tells you people from your contacts, Snapchat. So I used his Snapchat to find his Instagram, because none of it was linked on his Tinder. And then I went to his Instagram, and I'm going through his feed, and we had quite a lot of mutual friends, which was kind of no surprise given the Gold Coast and where he went to school, where I went to school, all of that stuff. So I wasn't surprised. And then I get to this group photo of him and all these guys. And one of the guys is the crack pipe guy from Friday night, who told me his name was Xavier. And I'm like, oh, crazy, they know each other. I click onto this photo, I go into the tagged friends. Now his name isn't Xavier where it's tagged, it's something else. But we'll just keep calling him Xavier. I go to it, and they're brothers. So within 48 hours, I've nearly done the whole family, right? So, and this David is on his way. And I'm like, great, I've got his brother's stuff here, I'm gonna have to hide it, like, this is so bad, what if they find out? What if he's on crack too? And like, I'm still wondering if he knows that his brother's like smoking crack. I guess he'll know after this, because he'll probably figure it out. So David comes over and I've like hid everything and I'm like talking to him. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, do you have family here? And he's like, yeah, I've got an older brother, I've got a younger brother, and I'm trying to, like, figure out which is which, given we clearly can't trust Xavier because he's lying about his name, let alone everything else. Definitely lying about the fact that he said to me that he only does crack once a month. And I was like, what? And I just was the person you wanted to do crack with this month? Like, I don't believe that for 1 second, buddy. But David was really lovely and we like saw each other quite a bit. And I was like, oh, he's gonna find out. Like I dated him for like 2 weeks. That's not that long, but it was quite a few dates and that's quite a long time for me. I go through men like bobby pins. But yeah, I was like asking him about his family, trying to figure out, first of all, if he knows that his brother's on crack, if he knows that I was with his brother like a few nights before, what if he sees his brother's stuff here, all of this, and like, quite a wealthy family. I mean, I don't know why Xavier was doing crack. He really didn't, he could have, you know, paid for better drugs, but I guess we don't choose our addictions. But, yeah, so I was seeing David, and then what really, close to the end of it, I was a little sick and he came over and we were watching Will and Grace, and there's this episode of Will and Grace where Grace is like seeing one guy and then she thinks he left her, so she goes to this bar and like sleeps with the waiter, and the waiter's the guy she was seeing's son, but then she was like seeing his grandfather as well, and it's like a whole thing. And we were like sitting on my couch watching this episode and I was like, oh my god, like this is too close to home, this is too close to home for me. And David is like laughing at this whole plot line and goes, wouldn't it be crazy if that happened in real life? And I was thinking, if only you knew, buddy, call up your older brother, let's make it a trifecta and we'll have exactly this going on. Where's dad? Get him too. But, yeah. That was when I slept with 2 brothers. Well, half slept with one brother, but was like, huh. And he was super, the first one, the crack one, was like, he was really weird, and I don't think he really knew what he was doing. But David was a whole lot better, a lot bigger too, but it didn't work out with either one of them, so it doesn't matter really, and now they're gonna know, especially Xavier, because he'll know that he's lying about his name. And I guess David will know because we watched Will and Grace together. But that's, yeah, the time I slept with nearly the whole family. And it wasn't too exciting, but what are the chances that in 48 hours... And I've never, like, I had a lot of mutual friends with both of them and had never met them, never heard about them. No one ever talked about them. But David was really cool. He kept trying to, like, be my sugar daddy. And I was like, I don't need a sugar daddy. I've never had a sugar daddy. Well, that's not true. But I just was not looking for that. And it didn't work out in the end. But I'm kind of glad it didn't, because that would have been real uncomfortable when he introduces me to his brother and I've already slept with him and he's on crack. So that's that. Like and subscribe, I guess, if you want to hear more, but... And trust me, I've got more. The fun doesn't stop there, unfortunately for me, but for this story it does, so like and subscribe.